The world was totally shocked when Simon Cowell said he was leaving the Britain's Got Talent show. For many years, he ruled the TV world. People knew him for being a tough judge, but also for finding really good singers and performers. But away from the cameras, people whispered about his health problems, scary bike crashes, and fights with other people in the business. But now Simon Cowell is dealing with his biggest personal fight ever. His son got some really sad news from doctors, and this made Simon say a tearful goodbye that fans never saw coming. Simon Cowell just got heartbreaking news about his son, Eric Cowell, and that made him step away from the entertainment world. For many years, Simon Cowell has been the strong face of TV talent shows. He is known for his super sharp comments, always telling the truth, and finding new stars. But Simon seemed like he would never leave the spotlight. In a crying announcement, he said he was retiring from television. And this was because of the heartbreaking news about his 11-year-old son, Eric. Eric was told by doctors he had a developmental delay when he was 4, and this makes it harder for him to learn things at the right time. He is the only son of Simon Cowell and Lauren Silverman. There have been many stories about Eric's medical problem, from rare brain conditions to Down syndrome, but none of these have been proven true by Simon. Still, people close to them say that Eric has global developmental delay and that Simon has talked about this publicly. Once he learned about his son's condition, his next step was to think about spending more time with his family. That's what led to his tearful goodbye after the heartbreaking news. But this wasn't the only heartbreaking news that made Simon Cowell step back. Simon Cowell's world completely changed when he found out about his son's diagnosis. But that was not the only bad news that made him step back from Britain's Got Talent. With the sudden and tragic death of Liam Payne, one of the first stars he helped make famous as a member of One Direction, Simon found himself very sad and grieving. The news sent shock waves through the entertainment world, but also hit Simon really hard. Liam's career was deeply connected to Simon, and he fell from a hotel balcony in Buenos Aires at age 31. Simon was crushed as he posted an Instagram message saying, "Liam, I am crushed, heartbroken, and I feel empty. Every tear I have cried is a memory of you." He remembered their friendship and the young artist's kindness and hard work. In fact, Simon's love for Liam was like a father and son, and that made him think about his son, Eric, and how they had been dealing with his heartbreaking medical diagnosis. This blow to Simon Cowell caused a tearful goodbye, making him miss many episodes on Britain's Got Talent. BGT had to replace him by bringing in guest judges as he took time to grieve and take care of his son. Although Simon stepped back with a tearful goodbye that made fans cry, he made it clear that he won't fully retire. He slowed down to get back parts of his personal life that have been ignored over many years of non-stop work. In past interviews, he has also hinted that he is doing less work in the entertainment business. This is partly because of his son's health and the fact that he wants to spend more time with him, and also because of his own health problems like constant headaches. He's been seen wearing red-colored glasses to reduce the effects of bright lights from filming. But in an interview, he said the rumors that he was retiring because of his son or being tired were not true. He said that he will only quit if he no longer believes in an idea, otherwise the work that excites him keeps him going. He is balancing his time with his son and family and his time at work. Now, as he takes care of his son, deals with grief, and honors the memory Liam left behind, Cowell is thinking again about his relationship with fame and the crazy fast pace of TV production. Sources say he's been making lifestyle changes, putting family time first, thinking about his health, and choosing creative projects more carefully. A health scare in 2020 when he hurt his back badly in an electric bike accident already made him rethink his workload and start a more balanced routine. At the same time, Britain's Got Talent is back on TV, and Simon is one of the judges on the show. He's already making headlines with some of his strict comments to contestants and tough processes. But as he continues to follow his dreams, he's also focused on caring for his son as they struggle with a heartbreaking diagnosis. In 2014, Simon Cowell and his girlfriend Lauren Silverman had their son. Although Simon has a bad reputation as a mean critic during his time on shows like American Idol, Britain's Got Talent, and America's Got Talent, he has become gentler now that he has his son. He has been worried about his son's health, and this has made him even closer to Eric. In an interview, he once said, "After I lost my parents, I truly felt I would never feel that kind of love for anyone ever again. I thought that was it until I saw the scan of him for the first time." He then added, "From that moment I saw the scan, I was like, that is it. I'm obsessed now. I just cannot imagine my life without him." Simon has been talking openly about how much he loves his son and being a dad, although he has not been open about his heartbreaking diagnosis. Eric was born on February 14th, and Simon was instantly in love with his son, saying that he was nervous about the idea of being a father at first. He once said, "I was born to be a dad." Shortly after his arrival, Simon named his son after his late father, Eric, who he was close with. He has been trying to build the same relationship that he had with his father, with his son. When his parents were alive, he got a lot of comfort from the relationship he had with his mom and dad. So, he wants to create that again with his son. Although Eric is Simon's first child, his girlfriend Lauren has a teenage son from her previous marriage called Adam. Eric and Adam have spent quality time together over the years, and Simon is happy about growing the family with the two of them. The father-son duo have been working on a new book together. Simon announced that he and Eric were hard at work on a new project, a 7-book series called Wish Fits, based on imaginary animals that the pair had created, including a combination of dog and cat and a peep, a combination of pig and sheep. Simon also said that his son is a red carpet professional. Although he has been trying to keep his son out of the spotlight, he sometimes appears on the red carpet to support his dad. In 2022, he posed with his parents at the America's Got Talent finale in a blue polo shirt, jeans, and Nike sneakers. Eric has been coming to his father's shows since he was young. And so, Simon said in an interview that he loves seeing his son get excited during live tapings. His son is always having the best time when in public, and this was surprising since he thought he would be shy. In fact, Simon Cowell has completely changed now that he's a father and might be saying a tearful goodbye soon to spend more time with his son after a heartbreaking diagnosis. Before Eric's birth, Simon only focused on work, but having a child changed everything. He once told interviewers, "If Eric hadn't come along, God knows what would have happened. Before Eric, my life was 99% work. I was obsessed with it." Simon also said that Eric gave him something to live for after his mother passed away. Now, in every decision that he makes, he's thinking about his son first. In fact, Eric has had such a major impact on Simon's life that he almost quit smoking for him. Simon shared that his son was really on his case about giving up smoking. He said that he had to sneak around to smoke so that his son wouldn't catch him, adding, "If he catches me, it's like being back in school. He's the teacher." In 2023, Simon said his son's latest dream, which is that he wants to play drums in a rock band and try out for Britain's Got Talent. Simon said that his son wants to be in a rock band and loves Green Day. Simon joked, saying, "That's going to be total torture. I mean, of all the things I've ever done, this will probably be the hardest because he does play drums. He's going to drum and sing." I went, "Oh God, no." A few weeks later, Simon said that he hopes Eric never tries out for the show. Although he's a good drummer, he still doesn't want him to come on the show. But until now, he still wants to be a drummer despite the heartbreaking diagnosis. But in an honest interview, Simon said that he hopes that his 11-year-old son, Eric, might eventually step into his shoes, but not on camera as a contestant, but behind the scenes as a producer. Although Eric is quite shy, Simon thinks that he's a great fit in production. Howie Mandel also believes that Eric is following in his dad's footsteps. He watched how Eric's presence at AGT tapings greatly influences Simon's decision. He also commented that Eric may very well follow his father into the entertainment world someday. Simon has also been worried about Eric's online safety, especially since he's famous. He said that he was afraid about Eric owning a phone, saying that he was concerned about the harmful online content that he might come across. He also wanted him to have access to age-appropriate learning. According to Simon, fatherhood was the best thing that's ever happened to him and thought about how Eric helped him through a difficult period after losing his parents. In fact, many have said that there has been a major shift in Simon Cowell's behavior as he is now more focused on fatherhood. Although he still has his signature snark, he's definitely softer than before. Clear that his son has been his personal salvation and emotional renewal. He has credited fatherhood with pulling him out of an emotional low period. And despite his fame and success, he usually felt lost and overwhelmed. It was the birth of his son that brought a positive shift to his emotional state. Everyone knows that Simon is very strict with his words, but his attitude has mellowed significantly. He now admits that fatherhood brought out his softer, more caring side. Kinder thoughts and gentle encouragement have increasingly replaced his former on-screen tough edge. Because of his relationship with his son, it has changed how Simon approaches talent shows. He now imagines what it would feel like if his own child was trying out. This shift has made his judging style more thoughtful, caring, and focused on encouragement instead of harsh criticism. Simon is no longer a workaholic and focuses on spending time with his son. He emphasizes quality time with family over career goals. Now he prefers activities like biking, walking the dog, and enjoying Eric's company, all of which bring him genuine happiness more than any professional award. In fact, the impact on Simon's life is so clear that he recently had a tearful breakdown on stage while watching the audition of a younger contestant with autism.
Why?
Because it reminded him of his son. Simon Cowell was known for his cutting remarks and unwavering confidence, but with a tearful goodbye approaching. And after his son's heartbreaking diagnosis, he has quietly shown his softer side over the years. This is especially when moved by young or vulnerable performers. One of the most touching moments came during a live America's Got Talent broadcast. Singer Michael Keeter, a father of 5 and pediatric mental health nurse, delivered a soul-stirring performance of Us by James Bay. The emotional performance left Simon visibly in tears. He stumbled as he tried to speak through his emotions, saying, "As a dad, I kind of get. I can't imagine what you've done." Tyra Banks comforted him with, "That is one of the most beautiful moments I have ever seen of you. That vulnerability and that beauty." These raw emotions stunned fans and showed a rare glimpse of Simon's deeply caring nature. Simon has also broken down multiple times while judging these shows, especially when he hears emotional songs that remind him of his family and his son. Shortly after his mother passed away, he was watching contestant Josh Daniel perform Jealous and unexpectedly cried. He admitted that he wasn't prepared for how the lyrics and grief would overwhelm him on live TV. More recently, thinking about his emotional journey on the Diary of a CEO podcast, Simon said how losing his parents threw him into a dark workaholic spiral. He described himself during that period as a vampire, working into the early hours with no sense of purpose until his son Eric was born and saved him. Fatherhood marked a turning point for Simon's on-air behavior. In an honest confession to the son, he explained how being a parent changed his perspective, particularly when judging children. Cowell admitted that seeing a young performer often made him think, "God, that could be Eric." This realization led him to soften previously sharp criticisms and allow more encouragement to shine through. One particularly emotional highlight occurred during America's Got Talent Season 18, when the Mazansi Youth Choir performed Nightbird's song It's Okay as a tribute to a departed contestant. Simon was overcome. Tears streamed down as he quieted himself to collect his emotions, saying, "This brought back so many memories for me. This is hard." The performance earned a rare unanimous golden buzzer decision, amplifying the emotional weight of the moment. Although his son has made him more emotional, he's still not taking a step back from the world. If anything, his son's heartbreaking diagnosis has made him focus on something else aside from music, and that's medical research. Simon Cowell has been dealing with his son's health, and in recent years, he has also faced health struggles. This has made him focus a lot on medical research aside from his entertainment business. Exposed to intense stage-level lighting during filming, Simon frequently suffers from headaches. To ease the discomfort, he's adopted a habit of wearing red-tinted glasses designed to filter out triggering light frequencies. Simon has credited this simple $20 fix with easing pain during filming, explaining that it's like a filter, and adding they actually do work. While tinted glasses offer some relief for individuals with light sensitivity, experts caution that scientific support remains limited. The NHS doesn't officially endorse them, and more rigorous studies are needed. Nonetheless, Simon's success with them underscores a practical, personalized approach to wellness. Despite occasional filming interruptions, such as missing editions due to headaches, sources insist Simon remains in fantastic health, maintaining an active lifestyle that includes biking, walking, and reformer Pilates. In a less flattering light, Simon has previously embraced intravenous vitamin infusions, getting cocktails of vitamin C, B12, and magnesium, which raised eyebrows among medical professionals. Critics argue that unless there's a specific deficiency, oral intake usually works fine, and that infusions offer little practical benefit. He's also drawn notice for dabbling in fake scientific wellness claims, such as hiring a house healer, which sparked criticism from science advocates. Because of his son's health, Simon has been financially supporting different medical causes, especially for seriously ill children. He serves as a patron for Together for Short Lives, the UK's leading charity for children with life-threatening and life-limiting conditions, formerly known as Children's Hospices UK. In 2015, he helped launch its fundraising, Children's Hospice Week, because he believes that they need round-the-clock care and funding. Simon Cowell is putting off his tearful goodbye for a while to focus on his son's heartbreaking diagnosis. The famous Simon Cowell that once worked day and night is no longer putting his full focus on Britain's Got Talent. He instead is focusing more on fatherhood and medical research, and not only his career. Simon Cowell has faced profound transformation through fatherhood, particularly after the loss of his parents. In an exclusive interview, he said that his son Eric saved him, filling an emotional void with a love more powerful than anything he'd known. Fatherhood has completely changed Simon's choices and priorities, and he might just say a tearful goodbye soon to his career to focus on his son and medical research. He's shifted perspective. Rather than focusing solely on career achievements, he puts first rest, family time, and mental clarity. He's even become firm about recognizing when he's too tired to make good decisions, allowing himself to step back and recharge. A big change comes through how Cowell balances life on and off camera. Eric often goes with him to America's Got Talent tapings, and Simon judges contestants' acts through his son's eyes, asking himself what would entertain or inspire Eric and his friends. On a more protective note, Simon recently shared his deep concern about his son having access to a cell phone, citing the dangers of early exposure to harmful online content. He emphasized respecting age-appropriate learning and maintaining boundaries. Another sign of his father-forward mindset, Simon has also been investing a lot in medical research so that other children can be healthier. This is also because of his son's heartbreaking diagnosis. What do you think about Simon Cowell today compared to before? Do you think he should step away from the spotlight to focus fully on family or continue balancing both worlds? Let's know your thoughts in the comments. So, thanks for watching this video and we will see you in the next one.